Okay, hello and welcome back. Today we are going to be making turkey wontons. And for these, you will need water, chestnuts. This is an 8-ounce can. You will also need 1 small onion. We are using a white onion. 1 teaspoon of freshly chopped ginger root. And then you are also going to need 1/3 of a cup to 1/4 of soy sauce. You can use 1/4 of a cup if you don't want it to, if you want to like limit the amount of soy sauce. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to cut this. Again, this is 1 can of water chestnuts, 8 ounces. And Lucas is going to chop these.
Okay, you don't need to spread them out like this, but I thought it would just be easier. Yeah, I think that's good. It might seem like a lot of water chestnuts, but it's really not that many.
Oh, and you will also need 1 package of wonton wrappers, 1 beaten egg, and some vegetable oil or some cooking spray.
We'll do that later. This video
and
might
you're just gonna, we got sliced water chestnuts, as you can see here.
They're already half sliced.
They're already sliced.
You need to slice them small.
And then you want to drain these and chop them, like Lucas is here.
If you were wondering why they were a little wet, that's why, because they were drained from all kind of wet can. Okay, so
we'll be back once these are all chopped. Okay, so what we're doing here is we're just cooking turkey. You need 1 pound of turkey because we're making turkey wontons. And what you're gonna do is you're going to, I put a little oil in my large skillet. You're just kind of gonna break it up and you're gonna cook it with your small onion you chopped. And you're just going to cook that until it's no longer pink and until it's fully cooked. Just so you know, you may need some adult help. So if you don't want to do this, or if you aren't allowed to do this, just ask an adult that you have in your house. And I guess we will be back once this is fully cooked.
Kind of fun. I hope other people make this.
Okay, so we're back. Lucas is still cooking the meat, but
well, it's not cooking, but
yeah. What we're gonna do is we are going to measure out our soy sauce, which we will need to use next. So what you're going to do is you are going to measure out 1/3 of a cup of soy sauce, and you can use less than this if you think 1/3 of a cup is a lot or you don't like soy sauce. It just is a nice flavor. It's absolutely your choice. And we'll be back once this is measured and the meat is fully cooked. Okay, so we are back. This is fully cooked. Now we are just going to drain it from there into a bowl. And just make sure you get all that excess liquid off. And as you can see, it's dripping through these holes that we have under our spoon, like this. You can use a drainer or anything that drains it. We are just using a spoon to make it just a little easier.
also, if somebody else is holding the bowl and when you're like carrying the bowl out, make sure not to touch the bottom because that happens to be somewhat hot because the meat was being cooked.
But if you don't have someone else around to help you, you
just hold the edges.
You can hold the edges, or you can not have it. You can let the meat cool for just a little bit, so it's not as hot. And
although it isn't a problem as long as you're careful and you hold the edges.
Yeah, and I'm just trying to get all of this extra onion out. And okay, now I'm going to go place this in the sink. And what you're going to do now is you are going to add your ginger to it. This is just the teaspoon of ginger we chopped.
It might seem like a little bit more, but it's not.
And then you are going to add your soy sauce. And Lucas is just going to combine that with a spatula right here.
Here, I'm getting it spilled a little bit.
And now Lucas is going to combine this.
Can you go throw that in the trash? Okay, so make sure it's like the meat kind of looks a little bit like darker than it did before. Kind of like when like the meat turned brownish. You want it to look darker instead of this color. See, like that right there is a pretty dark patch. You could use teriyaki sauce, although we're going to use soy sauce. Yeah, actually, it could be good with teriyaki sauce. But we're using soy sauce. This looks pretty good, although I'm just going to do it a little bit more.
Okay, so we are back. All our soy sauce and ginger is incorporated. Now we are going to add 1 beaten egg and our water chestnuts we chopped earlier. So you're going to add your water chestnuts. You can do them in any order you want, but we're doing water chestnuts first. And you're going to just incorporate those in until fully incorporated. And Lucas is going to show you how to fold them in so you don't make a big mess.
Can you put that in there so that it doesn't spill? Well, yeah, but there's not much in there, Lauren.
Yeah, but you just want
It's really about the water. Okay. It looks like eggs.
Yep. You just
so you like fold it over, and then the meat's on top. You're not. Oh, the spatula. Okay. Spatula is. So you go under, and then you flip it over, and once you've done that enough, and it's kind of incorporated, then you just stir.
And you can see Lucas is incorporating these slowly. And if
Actually, it's basically incorporated.
No, not really. And you just want them to be all spread out all over the meat, and you want it to be like...
So that you don't just get a wonton with just wrapping and chestnuts, because that would be kind of strange. Oh gosh. That's why you fold.
Yeah.
Right there.
Mm-hmm.
Also, do not drain the soy sauce and the egg stuff on the bottom.
You may think it's like, oh, I messed up, it's extra liquid.
It will kind of soak it.
That's just the soy sauce and the egg.
If there's still excess when you're like gonna put it in the wonton wrappers, then you can get rid of it, but...
You can just use that same drain spoon we used, or your drain spoon. You can just use that to get some of the excess liquid off, but you want some of it because you want to be able to taste that flavor.
When I point.
Okay, so we're back. All our chestnuts and eggs are incorporated. Now we just put about a tablespoon or a tablespoon and a half. Half a tablespoon is 1.5 teaspoons. But now we're just going to spread this all over the pan. We are using like a food brush. It just has a bunch of bristles that are silicone. And you're just gonna brush this all around your pan until your pan is like fully coated. And then what you're going to do first, in your wonton wrappers, so they don't get all dried out and bad, you're going to cover them with a damp towel. And I'll show you right here. They are covered with this damp towel just to make sure they don't dry out. And then we're just gonna put those back over there. And I'm gonna continue just brushing to make sure all of this pan is coated. And later on, we are going to show you how to fold the wonton wrappers because it may be a little tricky. And we just want to show you exactly how to do it. Okay, so this pan looks fully coated. Mostly.
They won't stick that much. But.
Yeah, okay, there, we've got that. And then we are going to get a wonton wrapper right here. And I'm just going to place it in the middle of the pan. We'll move it. But then you're just gonna get a small spoon since your wonton wrappers aren't big. And you're just gonna place it in.
Well, of course, we don't know. Yours might be bigger.
Yep. And then you're just going to basically fold it however you want, actually, but we're doing it this way. And you're just gonna place that on your pan. And then this little bit fell out, but that's fine. And then you're just going to repeat doing that until you've used all your meat. Bye!
Okay, there's one more way to do this, and that is, so you put the meat in the middle.
And then what you're going to do is you're gonna fold the bottom side over onto the meat. And then you are going to fold that side over. It's sort of like an envelope. And then you're gonna fold that side over. Now, if it's not really sticking, you can place if you have a bowl of water next to you, you can just place a dab of water so they stick. And then I'm just gonna place another dab right here. And then you just fold this over on, and it looks like an envelope, and then you just put that on right there.
You don't have to turn it over.
You don't have to turn it over.
It might cook better, though.
And then just make sure you're covering your wontons because you don't want them to get dry.
Can I do this one?
Yes. Then I'll put the meat in. And then you just need a little bit of meat because you don't want your wontons to overflow.
By the way, at this stage, do not eat any of your meat because
there is raw egg.
Not that much, but there still is a little bit.
Okay. There, and then Lucas is gonna do this one, where he folds the bottom in, then he folds the two sides. Now I can help you dab it with water. Here, look, you push it over, and then you're gonna dab with water there. There, and then you just dab with water there, and there you go.
So you have
your
more
wonton.
We're gonna do it probably 2 people at once so that it goes a little bit faster.
But if you only have one person, that's totally fine too.
It just won't be quite as fast.
And these are our 4 wontons. We'll finish doing the rest.
You can also make them like this. And if you want to make them like this, make sure to fold the corners.
And just don't forget, you're supposed to preheat your oven to 400, and so these wontons can cook. And we'll be back once these are all folded and in their pan.
Our back end, we have made tons of wontons. We had like a 60 pack. If you're wondering what that red stuff is, that's just chili paste, and we're using it because some people just like it spicy. The other 2 batches don't have it. So we're gonna go cook these, but first
we are going to spray them with an oil. We also sprayed or just greased the bottom of these pans just so they would get crispy. And then you're just gonna like spray all over the pan.
It's not spraying. Can I try? Wait, is it? Wait 1 second. Awkward silence.
Okay, and then you just want to make sure you get all of them.
It's not coming out. I think that's the way I'm holding. There.
Okay, bye.
We'll show you a done batch.
All of them. So as you see, we sprayed these with oil on the bottom and on the top. Now what you are going to do is
we didn't spray the bottom, we put vegetable oil.
Yeah, and what you are going to do is you are going to put these in the oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and you are going to put them in about 10 to 12 minutes or like 8 minutes and flip them because they'll be done on the bottom. And then you're just going to put them back in once they've been flipped for about 1.5 minutes, maybe a little more. And they, just so you know, they keep cooking on the pan. So for like 1.5 minutes and you think they're not done on the bottoms, or then they are done because they're going to keep cooking on the pan as they sit in the pan.
Well, should we show them our finished bunch?
Well, we'll show you these once they're done. Okay, we are back. These are all done. They look really good. These are our finished wonton wrappers. We hope you loved the recipe, and we hope you have fun baking and cooking.
One more thing, remember, bird reveal at 100 subscribers.
I don't know, but I hope you enjoyed cooking with us.